everybody? It's your boy Andrew L. Case, and you are now tuned in to the Middle Initial Podcast. Today is Tuesday, November 28th, 2023, and I'm back. Welcome me back, guys. Welcome me back. Welcome me back. Have me some applause, fanfare. No? It's all good. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. I'll take the slow clap, all that. I'm back. My co-host as usual, Jude A. Jackson, Kimberly Lewis. Jude, say what's up to the people.
Hey everyone, hope things are going well. I'm excited to have Case back. It was fun with Kev and I, but it's all three of us. Sometimes it's the trio, as you can see, wearing a Yankees hat. I'm going back. Look at the brim. Look at everything. I mean,
whoa! What's that on top? What's that on top of your hat, Jude?
It's a
you
sticker.
Got what the fuck are you in, bro? What are you in? Like, that used to be cracking when I was in high school, bro. I'm old as shit. So what the fuck is? Who told you that having a sticker on your cap in 2023 was good? Number one,
I swear, I thought that was the style these days.
Number two, aren't you old? Well, not old. You're in your 30s, correct?
Yes, I am in my 30s. Yes.
This is no. Take that shit off. No, nobody does that shit anymore. Maybe the badass kids do it. I don't. I'm not around them, so I don't fucking know. But you in your 30s, knock it off. Take that shit off.
Don't talk like that, dude. Don't let a man with a platinum do-rag talk to you like that.
I mean, a platinum do-rag looks pretty good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Walk around outside.
Hey man, I only pull this out for the special occasions. In case come back to the special occasion, so I had to pull it out, man.
Kev got he went from the hats to the platinum do-rag. I feel welcome back.
Special occasion, man. What can I say?
Definitely happy to be back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, work. You know what I mean? Work related, but I'm back. Glad to be here. Glad to be here with you guys. Missed 2 weeks of good banter. But you guys held it down as usual. Definitely had to come back and show Jude how to do intro. You know what I mean? Do it. You know what I mean? Don't let the people see the snafus and the mishaps. But since we're here, how's you guys? First, I gotta ask, how's you guys' weekend? How you guys doing this weekend and stuff like that? What's been going on?
Not much has been going on really. Thanksgiving was pretty good. Had a lot of food. It was very nice. Had some drinks for once. It was pretty good. So I enjoyed myself, relaxed. And then that's about it. I watched fantasy football, which I lost again to Case because Chupa Hubbard decided to be Alvin Kamara for one day, and I'm just like, okay.
That wasn't the reason you lost. Let's not do that. That wasn't the reason you lost.
That's the game we're going to play.
I mean, you lost because my team is better, but yes, Chupa Hubbard did surprise and get 20 points. However, that wasn't the sole reason why you lost. You lost because you started Will Levis at quarterback. You lost because you started Adam Thielen at receiver.
Look, I thought Adam Thielen was going crazy for like 4 or 5 weeks, and then he just died. So yeah, that's how my season.
That's how it goes when you're old as dirt.
Yeah, he gave the good old college try.
Yeah, well, he old, so every part of his body hurt when he wake up. Though he old as hell. Old.
We're gonna get Adam, but before we get into Kev and Thanksgiving, we're gonna talk about Thanksgiving. But you know what's funny, Jude? You're a mysterious person. Who did you spend Thanksgiving with this year?
Just my mom. So it's usually my mom and I. We spend Thanksgiving together. I sometimes go to her apartment. She sometimes comes to mine. It's not a whole big old family thing. It's just us two. Made some turkey. Not turkey, hen. I usually eat hen.
You made turkey or she did?
She did. Not me. She did. So hen, Brussels sprouts, mac and cheese. The mac and cheese is really good. Stuff like that. Cranberry. Nothing too crazy, to be honest. Stuffing. So some good stuff.
No cousin.
No cousin. That's way back. I want to say like 10, 15 years ago. We had a big old Thanksgiving in my grandma's house many years ago, but now it's just us two for the most part. We do small stuff.
You're a man of mystery, Jude, but I'm glad for that. I'm glad for the insight. Kev, I know you're Jamaican, like me.
Yeah.
We're not business no small things.
Yeah. So it was Lots of rice and peas, lots of curry chicken, lots of this, that, a lot of eating. I gained a couple pounds over the weekend. I don't know it officially, but I know it officially, if you know what I mean. If you know, you know. But my weekend was good, man. That happened, Friday. Spent some time with my cousin at his crib and all of that, and did a lot of Black Friday, Cyber Monday shopping, mostly for sneakers, because I shop for sneakers like 2 times a year, and it's always when like the most prodigious sales are up and about, because that's just who I am. So got some shit done, and got some in advance Christmas shopping done. So it was a productive weekend.
You got some Supremes and everything. You went to Supreme, got some
no. Like, number one, I don't have that kind of money. Number two, even if I did have that kind of money, I'm not buying Supreme. So no, a hard pass. Yeah, that's hype. That's hype B shit if I've ever seen it. No.
Yeah, I used to work the Supreme sales, and I'll tell you right now, they're not sales. They're it's literally whatever they come out sticker price, and if anything ever comes out lower than whatever it is, that means it's non-style and nobody wants it anymore, and you're probably lame for wearing it. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Supreme is usually like, all right, we're dropping this, and it's going to cost 400, 500 plus, and then if you ever get anything for less than that, it's probably no one's wearing it. That's because no one's wearing it. So, my Thanksgiving was cool. I was with my lady and her at her BFF's mom's house. Second year in a row we did that. Her best friend's mom lays it down. Like you saw the picture. Like that spread is immaculate. It's the second time in a row she made short rib, turkey, with the stuff. Like, I don't know if people like enjoy turkey, but turkey with the stuffing actually stuffed the turkey. Fried chicken, mac and cheese, potato salad, sweet potatoes. I can go on and on. Like, we brought home.
I have a question.
Yeah.
No, I have a question for you guys. Do you do early Thanksgiving or like afternoon or like late at night? Like, when's the dinner ready? It's like all day.
It depends on whose house you're at, man.
Right. My good friend Shane, they family don't eat dinner until 11 p.m. No bullshit.
11 no, that's insane.
Bro, listen.
That's insane.
Traditionally, when my mom was still alive, God bless, and my family came around, we usually had dinner around the first or second NFL game. Normally, I think we had dinner around the Cowboys game. I think we're just about. So if we did it based on NFL schedule, dinner was almost ready by the Lions game, and because we wanted to avoid indigestion, we usually ate during the Dallas game. So, but then after that, I would go to different friends' house. But my boy Shane, his family, the Havens family, beautiful family. They don't eat until 11 p.m. I don't know how they do that. The house is full, people still up. Everybody's up, even the kids up. Dinner is usually like 10, 11 o'clock. I don't know why, but everyone's late. But I would like to. Yeah, I would normally, like, my family tradition was watching the game. Mostly, like I said, the Cowboys games we'll be watching while we're eating. But this year I think we had dinner around 6 o'clock. So it wasn't bad. I had a couple of plates. We brought like a mission bag home with all. She makes so much food. Like, literally, she makes so much food in shame, because we could literally eat like 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times we wanted to, and still have enough to say, hey, you know what? Let's go feed the homeless. Like, she makes that much food. So definitely crazy. I did participate in Black Friday or Cyber Monday because I work with a man. So anything that'll contribute to me having to work harder, I decided not. Listen. I've what they say. I've seen the other side. I've seen how it looks on the other side. And for those who don't know, I'm right now currently working for Amazon, and seeing the other side of things is like, yeah, it kind of sucks.
Don't get the snipers out here, Case.
Listen, shop till you drop. Do your thing. I'm not saying I'm not anti anything, but I'm just saying, seeing the other side of it and like how much goes into making sure everyone has their stuff within a day or two. It's insane. It's insane. And the place where I work, this is one of many logistics hubs for a lot of people, even regular people who just want to make some extra money, and they come in there their own vehicles to do whatever. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, that was the weekend in a nutshell. Some news happened after the weekend, of course. Thankfully, I mean, I guess if you want to look at it in terms of when you want to get bad news before or after the holidays, the Carolina Panthers decided to fire Frank Reich. I'm not going to say deservedly so. I think it's kind of on the GM and the owner for why this happened. But we'll get into that. But yeah, the Panthers fired Frank Reich. It was his first year as coach of the Panthers.
Yes.
Former offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach. Has a good history. Has a good history. I don't know anything negative about him. What we do know is the Carolina Panthers traded the barn to Chicago to move the number one pick to draft Bryce Young. We had the Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud conversation. Even though the Texans just lost the game, C.J. Stroud threw 46 yards. It was, it was a close game. But clearly you can see one quarterback is selling way over the other. Now, as far as team construction goes and what both franchises have gone through, it's clear that Houston has gone through way more, what would you say, Kev, blatant things that should be disrupting the franchise in comparison to Carolina.
I mean, it's really one super duper blatant thing. I mean, it's a really, really bad one. But I mean, they lost Nasty Man for whatever the reasons you want to compile. There are a few of them, and they got another guy in there quickly. Like, didn't take them long.
Head coach, quarterback, it's GM, like. Houston, for all intents and purposes, Houston should be in a bad place, and they're not. Yeah. If with some franchises it works out that way. But Jude, what do you think? Like, was this premature? Was it right on time, or is Frank Reich simply a scapegoat for what's really going on in Carolina?
Honestly, the way Frank Reich looks sometimes, I'm not even sure if he didn't want to leave this job. I think at that point he looked like, why am I doing this shit? He probably got tired of asking the same questions like, hey, CJ Stroud's doing well. Why is Bryce Young playing like shit? I don't know. And it's just over and over. He was probably happy he got fired. I mean, you know what my life goal would be someday? Being a Panthers coach, head coach. You know why? Because no matter what happens, 1 year, 2 years, I'm going to get paid either way. Like, David Tepper is paying like 6 coaches right now to not coach for his organization anymore. Hey, that's a lot of money. And B, pretty sweet gig. Like Frank Reich's retiring. He's probably on the beach right now. He doesn't have to coach again because he's getting paid his full, 4 or 5 year deal right now. So he's living the good life. But honestly, with Frank Reich, I think it's premature, but I think someone had to be the fall guy for not taking CJ Stroud. And the David Tepper's press conference when he was like, hey, we had 2 decisions. We all wanted, the coaching staff all agreed to go with Bryce Young and all this stuff. And I was like, Bryce Young? Yeah. It's like, yeah. Yeah, it's like someone had to be the scapegoat for that. I think their GM should probably be a scapegoat too, because I can't think of any bona fide good players on that team aside from Brian Burns and then Adam Thielen's corpse. I can't think of any single good player on that team. So that's another thing too. They play in a soft division. They won 1 game. The NFC South is horrible, and they've won 1 game. So,
right.
Yeah.
No, what I was going to say is, because you said, it should be in the GM. From the article that I read, the GM and the owner agreed that they wanted Bryce Young. Now, my thing is that Frank Reich want Bryce Young.
Probably.
That would be my thing. So, Kev, I mean, looking at it, right? Looking at it, if you're Frank Reich and entering the season, and you have Bryce Young and things are going the way it's going, is this a sigh of relief? Like, hey, I don't have to do this anymore, or is this some of that? Oh, this is that bullshit.
Listen, Frank Reich in the face looks like he aged like 10 years from the beginning of the season to now. So I can't imagine he's too broken up about this. Now, obviously, the flip side is that might be his last head coaching opportunity. Some people might care about that more than others. I don't know how Frank Reich is wired. So he getting paid to sit down and look around and take a break, whatever he needs to do. He's getting paid for it. So I can't, it ain't that bad. But as far as the firing itself, I'm of the mind that most of these coaches are replaceable. So unless you're Tomlin or you're Belichick or and Belichick, honestly, that's more sentimental and more what he's done in the past than now, because quite frankly, if Belichick, his name wasn't Belichick, he hadn't done all the things he'd done in New England, Belichick would have been fired Monday. Like, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn when I say that. Like, y'all saw the game. Y'all saw how that went. That is a I'm fired game if I've ever fucking seen one. But obviously, like, they're not going to fire him. They're going to let him go on his own terms, or they're going to trade him or whatever it is. But do I think it was the right time? I don't think there's a right time to fire a replaceable coach. Clearly, what it tells me, them firing him, is he didn't want that quarterback. And ownership, that was an ownership push decision, and they're trying their damnedest to save it, which I can't even necessarily fault them for it. Everything that got us to this point is stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, it's dumb. But you made the pick, you traded your soul to draft a 5'10" dude. Now you got to try and make it work. So they're doing everything they can to make it work. They're trying to get another coach in. I don't know what another coach is going to do, because they got the same players, and they're the biggest part of the issue. So I don't know what another coach is going to do. But them firing him is immaterial. It doesn't really matter that much. Go ahead, Jude.
I'm going to say another thing, in that who's going to want the job, to be honest? Like, look at the Panthers. They don't have a top. They have the number 1 pick right now, but guess what? They can't use it. They have a quarterback who looks like a toddler. Their team is very barren in like talent. So it's like, what coach is going to want that except for a guy who just desperately wants a head coaching job? So
we know who. Like, come on. You're close. You're saying everything. There you go. You're saying all the right things. You know why? Because this is the perfect situation for someone who wants to desperately coach. Not the perfect situation for a coach, but this is a perfect situation to say, look, Ron Rivera is definitely going to be on his way out of Washington, because there's no way coming back. The Commanders, they could, now this is, the brain trust and Magic Johnson and them, they can say, you know what, it's the perfect time to promote this offensive coordinator, this black coach, change the stigma around the history, the Dan Snyder stuff. It's a perfect layup to give him the job. But from what we've heard, it doesn't sound like they're interested in giving him the head coaching job, because of course he's there. Remember, he's there for a tryout to see if he can coach. Right now, what we heard coming out of camp earlier was all the players, oh my God, I can't stand him, whatever. But then the tune changed, because he's a professional, everybody's working good, blah blah blah. I'll put a little asterisk on the passing stuff, because the Commanders always play from behind, and Sam Howell just throws 50 times a game. So if they're top 10 in passing because of that, like, so be it. I don't really put a lot of emphasis on that. I would say because they're better in scoring this year than they were, and this is the best they've been since Kirk Cousins was quarterback in Washington. It makes sense for Bieniemy to get the nod, but
why would he want that job?
It's like, see, that's the thing. It's the stench of desperation. They're going to dangle the carrot. Like, look, we're not giving you. We don't have a first round pick. We're not giving you the best roster, right? But you're the offensive guy, aren't you? Aren't you the offensive guy? The guy that everybody's allegedly supposed to want? Like, they're gonna Donald Trump this. What do you got to lose? What do you got to lose? That's what they're gonna do. It's like Donald Trump talking to black people. What do you got?
You have to lose everything, actually.
Right. He can lose. He can lose.
You have to lose.
He can lose his credit. He can lose his credibility. He can lose any future opportunities.
Because the chances of you succeeding. It's one thing if you took that job 2 years from now. Like, all right, that's different. But brother, they got a guy who can't legally ride roller coasters playing quarterback, and you don't have a line, and you don't have a first round pick. Like, why am I taking the job for what?
Because the high reward is too great to pass up. They're gonna give. Let's just say argument's sake. They offer him a bag.
Yep.
A decent bag, first year head coach. To come in a situation that immediately that first year, you just have to improve on a 1-win season. You win 5-6 games. Because the bar is in hell. He doesn't have to come out there and win 8 to 9 games.
The bar's in hell for David Tepper.
Yeah, but if you win,
he might fire his ass even with that.
right? But if you win 4 or 5 games and you shave your point differential a little bit, and Bryce Young looks like a playable quarterback and number 1 overall pick all of a sudden, then you almost look like a genius. Then when you re-up the following year with the picks and stuff like that, hey, we don't know what could happen. I don't think it will happen, but it's one of those things like those harebrained schemes, like it's crazy enough it might work.
I think there would be better.
You're
I think
taking
there's
the real
going to be
optimistic way here. Go ahead.
I was going to say I think there would be better openings for Eric Bieniemy than Carolina. I think
I'm not even sure about that.
I don't think so.
The entire NFL has told you what they felt about Eric Bieniemy for a long time, so I don't even think that there's good openings here for him per se. So like it might just be, hey, listen, this is what I got, and maybe he's egotistical enough to believe in himself that much to make that work. But good luck to him. Case is taking the optimistic angle with how that could work. Listen, you're going to take a
one
job
way to look at
it, right? If you're going to take the Panthers job, there's only one of 2 ways you could look at this. 1, I can fix this. 2, I'm getting paid, so it doesn't matter if there's 1 or 2 ways to look at this shit. So
and then go run to college, to college, and run to the SWAC or something like that, and just follow Deion's path, but do it better.
Right. And because the thing is with Tepper, like and with the NFL in general, if Bieniemy comes in there, they win 5 games, they improve a little bit, they might just say, all right, you know what? You improved us to this point. We're going to get somebody else in here to get us the rest of the way. They might. That could be how this works. But good luck to them on that. That whole situation is a fucking mess. The owner came out with the quotes today talking about basically saying that he thought the Texans were going to take him. We're going to take Bryce Young and all of that. And it just if that's true, then sometimes the best picks are the ones you don't make, because I'm sure the Texans are happy with how it worked out for them.
I want to say one thing about Eric Bieniemy. It's kind of a bit of a commentary for the Chiefs. It's kind of funny how like usually when like an OC goes to another team and the offense is kind of regressing a little bit, they're like, oh, this team misses this OC now. He's doing so well somewhere else. But this year with Eric Bieniemy gone and the Chiefs offense not looking nowhere. I mean,
we're still hearing about fucking Brian Daboll. We're still hearing about that shit. Still hearing about Brian Daboll left the Bills and Josh Allen's in the same, even though that was like 3 years ago. Like I don't.
Yes.
Or 2 years ago. Whatever.
I mean, there's other context too. Like the Chiefs wide receivers aren't good, but it's interesting how there's not that much. Oh, they miss Eric Bieniemy. It's more like, damn, these wide receivers suck ass. So it's kind of interesting how the discourse is like.
And I also just think that people just don't. They give the Chiefs a longer leash because. In the end, the Chiefs end up either in the Super Bowl or in the AFC title game. That's just how it's worked for 5 years. They're just like, they'll get it together, whatever. Their wide receivers stink right now, whatever. They'll figure it out. Right.
Unless they get embarrassed in the playoffs, like they the offense looks totally inept in the playoffs.
Right. Then the conversations will start happening. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think and if like again stuff like that can work in his favor if they look bad, and then like you said, he took the Carolina job. It makes them look like halfway decent, like a respectable offense, whatever he has. This is like, to be honest with you, and to Kev's point, like he said, the NFL already told you how they're looking at the enemy, right? This is not a perfect situation. It's not an ideal situation if Carolina were to offer him a job.
You're being real kind with those words.
No. It's the only situation, right? It's a take. So it's like the NFL is good for it. So do you want it or not? You know what I mean? Just as long as I don't have to deal with another Just Saturday situation or another McCown situation. Because remember with Houston, when they hired Cully, and we knew it was hire to fire, and people were like, oh, McCown was the front runner, and then like, thank God he's not coaching in Houston. Thank God he's not coaching. Can you imagine if he was coaching with Stroud? Thank God he's not coaching in Houston, because cooler heads prevail and smarter people came to the point and say, hey, this is not a great situation for him.
I mean, this wasn't a smarter, this wasn't a cooler heads prevail situation. Josh McCown didn't want the job.
Well, somebody had to be smart.
It wasn't like Josh McCown wanted to spend more time with his kids. So he was like, no. And then the Houston Texans went, oh shit, what do we do? And then they pivoted and they pivoted very fucking well. Good for them.
Do me a favor, guys. Stop what you're doing right now. Don't be here to click that share button. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms. MIPod69. on Instagram and on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on TikTok at middle_initial pod on TikTok. And of course, make sure you're supporting the brand because while I was gone, I officially became a brand ambassador for dadsarcool2.com. So if you support the brand, you support the pod. Why not support me? You know what I mean? I need some of this dad money. You know what I mean? I look good in hats, don't I?
Oh my goodness.
I look good in hats, stuff like that. You know what I mean? Who doesn't want more? Who doesn't want more of that? Who doesn't want more of that? Okay? Who doesn't need more of that? Make sure you are following.
Oh God. The first one is vicious, bro. Man, looking off into the fucking distance, bro. That shit is vicious.
Shout out to Colton for taking that picture. I forgot to shout him out. Shout out to Colton for taking that picture. dadsarcool2.com.
Yeah, I appreciate him for that. That's been humor on this show ever since. I appreciate him for that.
Get 10% off with the promo code MIProcessing9. dadsarcool2.com. Moving forward, speaking of regime changes, I've been waiting for this topic of conversation. And we're gonna call this the State of the Union. And the question is not going to Kev because I know how Kev thinks. The question is going to go to Jude.
Mm-hmm.
Jude, you've been very active on Twitter.
I've been active.
Much to my fucking chagrin. But yeah.
He's been very active on Instagram as well. On Instagram, sorry, on
Discord.
Discord. Let's look at some of these.
Man. Wow. Did you really just put me on a Summer Champs game?
The Rodgers push by Woody is the smartest thing he's ever done. I'm going to read this for the people who are listening on audio. Moving on from a GM who has not built a playoff team is not, that's irrelevant. The first sentence, Rodgers push by Woody is the smartest thing he's done. That's it. All right, next.
This is March 13th, 2001.
March 13th.
Let's fast forward to, we can't really see this one too clearly, but
March 17th, 2023. All right. Yes, right. Missing out on Jimmy G and Carr would make the Jets desperate. I agree. Yeah. There may not be a media bias against the Jets, but there's a humongous lack of critical thinking. Jude A. Jackson on 3/17/23. Okay.
This is 4 days later, which is amazing.
All right. This is previous to that. This is 10 days before that. Barry was probably onto something, but it doesn't reflect poorly on it. I don't even remember what Barry said. Who cares? It doesn't matter. If the front office preferred Carr over Rodgers, Woody had every right to meddle. Listen to that part. If the front office preferred Carr over Rodgers, Woody had every right to meddle. Oh yeah. Barry released that he thought the front office preferred Carr. Right. That's what it was.
Right.
Anyways, if the front office preferred Carr over Rodgers, Woody had every right to meddle. Yes, I'm repeating myself. I need you guys to hear that shit 3 or 4 times. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
And wait, we're not done.
We're not done yet.
Wow.
I think we ain't done yet. Word to Marcus P. Number 1 defense in America. Also, I'm not sure I'm a super big fan of this whole thread. My opinion hardly matters, but I don't get acting jilted over Derek Carr going elsewhere. I don't get acting jilted over Derek Carr going elsewhere. I don't get acting jilted over Derek Carr going elsewhere.
They heard you the first time.
We have to make sure. We have to make sure.
Repeat that shit.
The question is
exactly what the fuck is going on. Yeah,
right. Because you flip flop. You flip flop in 4 days. You've been flip flopping all year, right?
All of his life. Fuck all year, but yeah.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a strong belief, Jude, that if the Jets. If Woody sees fit, he wants to get rid of Hackett.
Mm-hmm.
So be it. And if Rodgers doesn't like it, he can retire.
Yes,
he can leave.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So The question posed to you: should the current Jets regime and Rodgers survive?
Well, I mean, look, if Hackett is still here after what he's done, now the offensive line injuries, that's no one's fault. It happens, but everything else, that's his fault. His play calling's unimaginative. Did someone just? Oh yeah. So his play calling is unimaginative. So his play calling is unimaginative. He kind of stinks. No one gets open. Nothing's good. Nothing's easy for this offense. So, what reason is there for him to come back next year? Yes, there's Aaron Rodgers. I get that, but to me, the Jets have been bad. The Jets have always pretty much been bad for as long as I've been watching. So if the Jets are bad because Aaron Rodgers, like, Hackett stays or I go, I'm like, okay, you get rid of Hackett and get someone better. Then you can get rid of everyone else and get other people that could potentially be better. Now, the road's going to be long to relevancy. It's going to be very long, but it's going to be worth it in the end because the team will regain itself. They're being controlled by Aaron Rodgers. Yes, I'm putting my tinfoil hat on.
No, time out. No. No. That part is insane. The team could get its power back to do what? What have they done? To do what? To get their power back? Yes, I understand it's insufferable. And the idea that a 40-year-old is going to come in and play Superman is kind of insane on its surface. But like, oh, they got to get the power back. What was them having the power doing? Since I'm on this podcast with fucking history majors, remind me what the Joe Douglas era Jets did before Aaron Rodgers came here. Remind me. They didn't
do anything. They
didn't get the power back and do fucking what?
Oh no, this is everyone's going. Everyone else is going to go too. So
no, but I'm talking about the organization. You said the organization was getting the power back. That's what you're implying, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Woody's going to get this power back, hire a bunch of fucking morons because that's all Woody has ever fucking done. And do what? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Tell me. Because the last like 3 weeks have been the most shameless flip-flopping I've ever seen you do. And that's saying a fucking lot, okay? Because you're telling me they'd be better off with Derek Carr because at least he plays. Have you watched that fucking bum play this year? Have you watched him play at all?
I have. I've seen him play.
They are in the worst division pretty much ever put together, and they're under 500, bro. And before, I don't want to hear no excuses. I don't want to hear the grass ain't cut right. I don't want to hear none of the bullshit. They got better weapons over there. He plays indoors, and he plays in a bad division, and he still fucking suck. And their defense gives up 20 points a game. So I don't want to hear that shit either. Because that's all I heard from you and the likes who were on their knees begging like 1994 Keith Sweat for Derek Carr. That's all I heard. Oh, they need a defense. They need an offensive mind. He got both of those, and he's still ass. So him playing for the Jets and then being 6-5 would accomplish fucking what? What would it accomplish?
Well, they would be in a better spot. They could make a run at the playoffs.
A better spot to do what? Because you keep telling me, oh, it's about the long term. Rodgers is fucking 40. What long term are we talking about? He's 40. He ain't going to be here in 3 years. Neither would Derek Carr. But guess what? You're getting at least 2 years out of both of them. Because if Aaron Rodgers retires, the Jets take a $65 million cap hit. If Derek Carr was to come here and stink because, well, that's all he's ever done for 7 years, he's on the hook for a $50 million fucking cap hit. So what you're saying doesn't make any fucking sense. It don't.
It would be easier with Derek because you know what
you
Derek
say
Carr
things
do?
and then when I press you on them, you can't back this up. And we've been doing this runaround for 6 years. It's easier how? Go ahead. Where's fucking how?
With Derek Carr, he probably would not be lobbying to bring guys like Al Lazar, Randall Cobb, Billy Turner.
Why does that matter when he's bringing himself? He's bringing himself. Why is that? He's bringing himself. Why does it matter?
Okay, he's bringing himself, and the expectations would be,
the problem.
He's not that great, but at the very least, if he wanted to make change, it would be easier because he wouldn't have that same power that Rodgers would. So with that happening, you can just be like, okay, make all the change you need. You go, you deal with Derek Carr for 1 year, you draft a quarterback, he goes, and then you start over. It's a lot easier to start over.
Wait, hold on. Wait. Wait, so my question now, this is why I jumped in. My question: do you think Derek Carr signs for less to come play for the Jets than to play for the Saints?
I think he would probably want more money because of taxes and whatnot. So he'll probably sign for a
Okay,
little bit more money.
so then your theory of him playing for 1 year and us drafting a quarterback, how's that fit in? Because if he let me get this straight. Okay, instead of getting Rodgers, trading for Rodgers, we signed Carr, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then we do, and then we do what? Are we good? Are we winning 11 games, 12 games, or are we average?
We're around average. Let's say 9 to 10 wins. 9 to 10
Okay,
wins.
so we're not in position to draft a quarterback then. So we miss out on Penix, we miss out on Caleb Williams, we miss out on Shador Sanders, we miss out on the plethora of quarterbacks who possibly may come out next year, right? Bo Nix, all them guys, because we win enough games to not be in the top 10. And then we go to the playoffs, right?
Yes, you
maybe
go to the playoffs.
wild card one and done, so that maybe puts us at like what 20 something in the picks concerns, right? So we're not in a position to get a quarterback. So if we wanted to get a quarterback for the future, if Derek Carr fails, are we going to trade assets to move up, or we're just going to just pick whoever falls in our lap?
At that point, with Derek Carr, you just pick whomever falls into your lap. Someone might make a bad decision.
So we have no future. So basically, your plan is to draft a quarterback that may get us to the playoffs and win the wild card, not have a future quarterback, and still have Carr for another few more years. We probably end up drafting another quarterback because the quarterback we drafted to be the future sucks. So you're
actually let me recant a little bit. They would have more ammunition to trade up if they wanted to, and I think.
What more ammunition? They would just have the first round pick that they already traded already. That's the same amount of ammunition.
Yeah, it wouldn't be more.
It would. Yeah, no. See, it is the problem. So I think I understand what you're trying to say, but what you're missing is the fact that Derek Carr signed for a lot of money. He didn't sign for a cheap deal. Like maybe people thought he would sign for a 1 year, 2 year cheap deal, but the Saints decided to pay him a lot. And the Jets definitely courted him as if they wanted to pay him to be the quarterback.
No,
somebody smart.
No, they didn't.
I mean, well,
they didn't make that. They didn't make that man an offer. No, they didn't. No,
I just made him an offer.
You said they courted him like they wanted to pay him a lot of money. If they wanted to pay him a lot of money, they'd offered him something. They didn't court him like shit. They brought him in for dinner, and then they put out all them lies on social media. Like that's all they did.
Well, I mean, it's courtship. It's still courtship. You know what I mean? Like I'm not saying they why did that, but they did treat him as if they were like they didn't treat him like a guy that will give a 1 year deal. You know what I mean? Like
a 1 year deal was never going to get Derek Carr. Yes, I understand.
Right.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you, Jude, I don't think Carr is the reason, like a reason to stump for because of what's going on with Rodgers. Now I do agree with you as far as like Rodgers brought his homies and his homies stink. That happens. You know what I mean? That happens. LeBron brought his homies with him before places and
I want to say one thing as well too. I do want to say with Rodgers and his friends, I could deal with pretty much all of them except Hackett. Like Hackett was probably the straw that broke my back, so to speak. And if there was a world in which Hackett is gone,
we know why Hackett
still here. I'll take that.
But we know why Hackett is here, though. Hackett is
He's
here.
The weed man. I know.
I mean, the weed man, the dick joke guy. Listen, I don't
so
like Hackett
you would rather have a considerably worse quarterback and a marginally better play caller is what you're telling me, correct?
Pretty much. Yes, Hackett's not bad. Yes, I know it doesn't make sense on the surface, but Hackett is offense.
It doesn't make sense on the surface, deeper than the surface. None of it makes sense because listen, as long as I've known you, what have you begged for from your quarterback?
Don't turn
game management, not turn the ball over. Correct. Not many people in the history of the world have been better at protecting the football than Aaron Rodgers, and then obviously you have all the other shit, right? You want to throw that away because you're so mad at Nathaniel Hackett for being bad at calling plays in a situation where nobody would look good. Like let's call a spade a fucking spade. Like, yes, Rodgers has too much power. The Jets are bending to his knee. Which, sure, all of that is potentially true. No, all of it is true. Fine, understood. Nathaniel Hackett's also put in an impossible spot because, again, Mike LaFleur was put in the same exact spot last year and was demonized for it for reasons I still don't fucking know why. Because I don't know what you expect when you have you're trotting out Mike White with no ribs, Zach Wilson's bum ass, Joe Flacco's ashes, and Chris Streveler, and people expect him to make fucking chicken salad out of chicken shit, and I have no idea why. So it's the same situation. Like, is Nathaniel Hackett good at calling plays? No. Does he make his job? Does he make the jobs easier of the players around him? The players on the offense? No. I'm not here to defend Nathaniel Hackett. Let me just make myself fucking clear. All I'm saying is, who the fuck would do better in these circumstances, or you know what, considerably better? Let's put a qualifier on it. Who would do considerably better to the point where you're like, yeah, you know what? That I'd be cool with Aaron Rodgers bringing in, keeping this guy on board. Because if you're telling me you'd rather have Derek Carr and Todd Downing or whoever the fuck would be calling the plays at that point, as opposed to Aaron Rodgers and Nathaniel Hackett, I'm going to tell you that you're fucking complaining just a complaint. That's what the fuck I'm going to tell you, and you sound ridiculous.
So, in terms of considerably better, I can't think of anyone else on the staff. The staff's kind of mediocre as well. So that would have to be a next year thing. And off the top of my head, can't really think of anyone off the top of my head that would be an OC and be like, damn, yes, bring him aboard. But I think it's more just my frustration with Daniel Hackett. I could deal with Salo, I could deal with Douglas. Yes, it'd probably be better if they're all gone too, but I could deal with them. It's just the offense. I mean, this is comparable to like Adam Gase offense right now. It's that bad. And I'm like, damn, this shit sucks to watch. That's all. So yes, I would almost rather have.
So when you're frustrated, you then just throw a bunch of shit at a wall out of frustration and just hope that some of it sticks. Like I'm just trying to follow what this is, because if you're telling me you in any kind of context, I don't even care what the context is, that you'd rather have Derek Carr than Aaron Rodgers, especially when, again, we put your fucking tweets up. Like, we got you on the summer, we got you on the summer jam screen. We put your tweets up. I didn't even need the tweet. Just telling me in any context you'd rather have Derek Carr than Aaron Rodgers is fucking insane. And then it's even worse when you consider Derek Carr's been a 2-pack of hot ass this year. It's not like we got to look far and look 3 years ago to see Derek Carr being ass. It's right there. He's ass every week. Saints fans hate that dude, and they were talking on that delusional nonsense in the fucking in the offseason, talking about, oh, we got Derek Carr. Who's gonna stop us? Derek Carr. That's who's gonna stop you, sir. That's who's gonna stop you. Derek Carr is gonna fucking stop you.
Bro, Derek Carr has Michael Thomas, Chris Olave, and all that. Listen, I don't know what's worse, Baker Mayfield with Mike Evans or Derek Carr, Chris Olave.
Mike Evans is cooked this year. It's definitely Derek Carr. Mike Evans is cooked this year.
No, I mean, Mike Evans is cooked, but it's like it seems like he doesn't get as much targets as he should be getting. You know what I mean? Considering that he's like pretty much he is their best wide receiver, been the best wide receiver for 10 years.
I agree with that.
So it's like, but I mean, just watching Chris Olave just get open. Derek Carr can't.
Bro, there's a reason that Alvin Kamara averages like 13 catches a game. There's a reason.
Yes.
It's the bum-ass quarterback.
Derek Carr yelling at Chris Olave when he threw the ball 5 miles over his head and out of bounds might have been the most funniest brain dead thing I've ever witnessed.
I swear, if somebody ever puts hands on Derek Carr, I will buy that jersey so fast. I will buy that so fast. Like it's gonna be like, okay, Chris Olave puts hands on Derek Carr at 1:59 p.m. Eastern time. By 2:03, you're gonna see the link to my receipt on Twitter. Like, I bought Chris Olave's jersey at 2:03 p.m. Eastern time. You know, somebody need to put hands on that dude. Like, why are you yelling at me, bro? You are ass. Like, stop yelling at me. You are ass,
bro. Yes, and I have no illusions about Derek Carr being good. Please don't get me wrong. I don't think he's like this.
So you'd rather actively take a downgraded quarterback because you're so mad about Nathaniel Hackett calling plays. Also, subplot: Nathaniel Hackett wouldn't even be the offensive coordinator if Rodgers was there. It's not his offense. It's Rodgers' offense. Get better players, and we'll see. Listen, I'm off the boat because I know how this movie ends. I've seen it before. I want no parts of this shit. I'm just gonna get off now. The Jets have The Jets have made me not care about one of my favorite players of all time returning. So I'm done. If this is what it is, I'm finished. But if they get better players and Rodgers comes back and he's, let's say, 80% of what he used to be, they should be fine. Now, I don't expect that shit to happen because it's the Jets. And as long as Woody Johnson and Joe Namath are breathing the same air we breathe, they ain't going to be shit. But that's another topic for another day. It's another topic for another day. As long as they breathe the same air we breathe, they ain't never going to be shit. But, like, you so mad at Nathaniel Hackett, you talking about, I'd rather have Derek Carr. I'd rather, if he doesn't like it, he could go. Like, what? What? And the thing is, y'all never have replacements when you come up with these fucking ideas. When you come up with these ideas, there's never actual replacements. Oh, we could draft a guy. Okay, the Jets are going to find a guy at 24 or whatever the fuck they would have finished with Derek Carr in center, since that would be so much better. Oh, Rodgers brought his bum ass friends. Yeah, Rodgers is good enough to bring bums with him. Like, Derek Carr is the bum. That's the problem. He is the bum.
Right. Derek Carr is not bringing anybody but his Bible, and we already know that goes.
And somebody needs to throw his Bible at him. Quite frankly, if we're gonna keep it a bean. Just hang that shit at his head.
You can't hate Derek Carr that much. He's not a good He's not a great quarterback, but he shouldn't be this much hate.
Why?
He's just not that.
Bro, you hate Aaron Rodgers. He played 4 snaps for the Jets. What's your point? He played 4 snaps.
You hated Aaron Rodgers since. I don't know. I want to say since this podcast started, before the podcast.
Way before the podcast started, buddy. Way before.
Since 2014. Since 2014.
You hate a quarterback that completes over 65% of his passes, doesn't make mistakes, throws 30-plus touchdowns like almost every year, and you want us to like the quarterback who does the
Bro, he hates Aaron Rodgers because he's arrogant. Or hates, whatever tense you want to fucking use. I don't know what goes on in your brain, dog. Hates, whatever tense you want to use. But Derek Carr, who runs to church to get off passive-aggressive rants because the team doesn't want him no more.
Remember that clip? Oh, my God.
Bro.
That clip was so cringe.
Is this all you have from my heart? I got to the playoffs. And I'm like, is this all you have from my heart? Is this all you have from my heart? Like, bro.
I wish he went to my church. We would have booed that man in my church. You know, right? So that's Rome Baptist Church. You've been like, yo, bro, I don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm like, is this all you have from my heart?
Right.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
My God don't work that way. So,
but I'm not supposed to dislike this man. He getting off passive aggressive bullshit in a fucking house of praise, and I'm supposed to like. And he sucks at his job. It's not even like he's good at his job, and he's getting his shit off. He's getting his shit off in church. Fine, you stink at your job, and you getting your shit off in church. And he's soft. Like what more do you? Everything I said about this dude in the offseason ended up being true. Everything, every last thing. He's a loser. LOSER, loser. And the worst kind of revisionist history is telling me the Jets would have been better off with Derek Carr. That's the worst kind of revisionist history, because you can't possibly be that mad at Nathaniel Hackett having a bad offense with a whole bunch of bad players. You can't possibly be this.
You can be. I think there's room to be mad at Nathaniel Hackett.
No, I said this mad, sir. I said this.
No. I said this. No, I'm quantifying it. I think there's room to be mad at Nathaniel Hackett. I just don't think there's room to somehow lump in somebody who's not playing. Like, Rodgers isn't playing. Like, the whole plan and everything falling apart is surrounded by Rodgers playing. I get the frustration with Hackett because it doesn't appear like he's doing his job at all. And he probably only did his job week 5 versus the Chiefs, right? Or 4, whatever that was. He only did his job like one time the entire season. But when Kev brought up Mike LaFleur from last season and him being a scapegoat, I've been harping on the similarities from last year to this year a lot in the Discord. And that's why I'm just like, I'm so indifferent with this season. I'm not mad. I'm not happy. I'm just here, bro. I'm right in the perfect medium, because we said one wrong thing happens and the season is over. Several wrong things have happened. This is not the ultimate wrong thing happened week 1. Like, that was the most ultimate wrong. Some way, somehow, the Jets got us to care for at least 7 to 8 more weeks. You know what I mean? Until it's like we don't care anymore. You know what I mean? A lot of people just tapped out. We just want to draft and everything else. So for the Jets to get us at least to care almost 10 weeks into the season after losing Aaron Rodgers in the very first game, round of applause. Round of applause.
It's admirable.
You made us care for at least 10 fucking weeks where we should have not cared at all about this season. But they managed to get us to care about it. And, you know, it is what it is. Kevin's jumped ship. I understand Rodney's jumped ship. A lot of people jumped ship. And I get it because it's literally the same season as last season. Frustration with all the line.
It's never fucking rewarding. It's never fun. It's the same fucking shit over and over again. And once I realized, hey, so my homegirl was having a conversation with me about Garrett Wilson's fantasy stock, and she's one of them optimistic, everything's gonna be okay kind of fans. So I'm like, all right, whatever. She's talking this shit. She's like, oh, you know, everything will be better when Aaron Rodgers comes back. And I was like, I don't give a fuck if he ever plays another snap for the Jets. And I realized, hey man, I gotta hit the exit. So if you could make me not care about Aaron Rodgers, I'm gone, dog. I gotta hit the exit. It's a wrap. No coming back. So
it's crazy. But let's move forward. You know, we beat this drum to death. We did promise not to talk about the Jets too much. We had to address Jude, and his bullshit has been going on for too long. Let's talk about another loser ass team in our division. And another loser ass team in our city. The New England Patriots versus the Jets.
I got a question for you. I'm gonna drag the Jets back in here one more time as we go on, but keep going because I got a question for Jude. I know you're gonna give a bullshit answer to. So okay, keep going.
The New England Patriots. The New England Patriots look as bad as we thought they would look. Even worse. I think experts still have them like fighting for the division for some reason this season. I don't know why. Just like Kev said, because of Belichick. They're 2-9. Listen, Bill Belichick has been going back and forth between Mac Jones and Zappy, like going back and forth between, like what Kev said, the tallest little person and the littlest tall person. Like it's pretty much the same thing. Like he's just been interchanging like diarrhea and dog shit. It's like back and forth. Like, just stop. Yo, Bill could have signed anybody off the street to go play football. He's like, oh, we're going to go to Bailey Zappi. He sucks too. He sucks too, bro. I don't get it. Mac Jones has gotten benched more than Zach Wilson this year. I guess I don't know how that's
so bad. Mac Jones is so bad, dog. He's so bad. Oh my god.
And they managed to lose 10-7 in the most ugliest fashion to the Giants, who somehow continuously are trying to win games. And we're going to get into the science of that. But Kev, how ugly was the Patriots-Giants game?
I'm not going to belabor the point too much on this because, again, I put this in here for a specific reason, two specific reasons that I will touch on. To show you where the Patriots are, what they're trying to do, they had the ball at like the 22-yard line, the Giants' 22-yard line, with like 42 seconds left, and it was 3rd and 6. The clock was running, and they had 2 timeouts left. They called neither of those timeouts and let the clock run down to 3, and then missed the field goal. There's no better example of tanking that I've seen in a long time than that one, dog. Like they were just like, "Hey, man, why try to win? Fuck all of that. Let's just kick a field goal." There's no better example of tanking than that. But Bill Belichick, the quintessential coach, is out here tanking. Like he doesn't believe that winning is the goal, right? He doesn't believe that winning is an aphrodisiac.
Oh my god!
But yet, Jude, who worships the altar, the Belichick altar, has been telling us this, that, and the third about Belichick. And even Belichick is telling you tanking is good. Tanking in the right context, tanking is good. What do you have to say to that?
Well, I mean, I think Bill Belichick trusted his kicker. I didn't watch that game because that game looked awful. So that game was kind of awful. So I'm just going off with highlights. He saw Mac Jones throw a bullshit-ass interception. He went to Billy Zappi. Billy Zappi also threw a bullshit-ass interception too. You know, he can't go back to Mac Jones. So at least he go on.
If you have 2 awful quarterbacks and you're at the 25-yard line with 2 timeouts and 40 seconds left, wouldn't the operative play here be to try and win the fucking game? Especially, again, you don't have any playoff ramifications to worry about here. So you don't have anything to really lose if you're actually trying to win the game. And they actively were just like, no, we want to actually play more football. God forbid. I don't know why they want to do that shit, but they want to play more football. You're telling me it's because he trusted his kicker and, oh, well, he has no quarterback. Okay, then why would you want to play more football then? Go ahead.
That's a good point, I guess. I mean, the Patriots have their number 2 pick right now, if I remember. And Chad Ryland, even though Belichick trusted his kicker, Chad Ryland hasn't been a particularly good kicker this year. He's missed 4 or 5 field goals, so he hasn't been exactly super reliable.
And you still think this is about trust? That's where you're going with?
I think Belichick wasn't upset that the Patriots lost. I don't know if he was happy, but I don't think he was upset. I think he actively
kicked a field goal after running the clock down to 3 seconds with 2 timeouts on the clock on 3rd down. And you're telling me he was not happy with the result.
Maybe he didn't want Tommy DeVito to have another chance at
I have another question. Long time listener, first time caller. If the Jets make it to week 18 with whatever, let's say the Jets don't win no more games from now to the end of the season, right? And the Patriots get to week 18, they've won no more games the rest of the season, right?
Okay.
And if the Patriots lose that game to the Jets, they get the number 1 overall pick. And the Jets get whatever pick if they lose. Don't care. That's immaterial here. Who do you want to win that game? And tell the fucking truth. You're lucky I didn't drag that goddamn tweet in here. You're lucky. Tell the fucking truth. Tell people what you want. Go ahead.
I mean, I would be happy if the Jets won that game because the Patriots will probably have the number 2 pick. So number 1, number 2, they're going to get a good quarterback.
You watched the fucking 2020 draft. Are you still talking about this? There's no difference between number 1 and number 2 shit? Or 21 draft, excuse me. You still doing that?
Okay. So there is a difference, yes. But just for if Bill Belichick's on the sidelines, then I would want the Jets to beat the Patriots. If he's not on the sidelines.
Why does here's the loveliest part about this is you want Bill Belichick to get what he wants. You realize how insane that sounds, correct? Given the amount of fucking space he occupies in your mind rent-free, you want him to get what he wants, and you don't realize how insane this sounds?
He doesn't dislike Bill Belichick. That's the thing. Let's get down to that.
He dislikes the Patriots.
I don't think he dislikes the Patriots either.
Yes, he does.
No,
he respects them, but he doesn't like them. That's why he's obsessed with beating them to the point where it makes no fucking sense.
Look, I'm going to say Bill Belichick's probably not going to be here next year. So whoever their jackass coach is going to be next year.
So why the fuck would you care about beating him then? If he's not going to be there, why would you care?
The true test, right?
Send him off with a loss. Send him off with a loss.
Why? What would that matter? Why would that matter?
It would matter to me. Maybe not to the team. Maybe not to anyone
I'm
else.
asking you why. We've established that would fucking matter to you. I'm asking you why it would matter. Why?
It would be a nice consolation prize. A nice.
How is 2 bad teams, 2 dog shit teams playing in week 17 or week 18, and the Jets beating them in a meaningless game that would potentially at least cost them draft position? How is that a consolation prize for the 2 decades of horror that Bill Belichick put the Jets through? Please tell me.
It would end the streak.
And mind you, the fucked up thing about this is I grew up in the era where Bill Belichick quit on them niggas and sent them a fax doing so. And I am not this ridiculous about Bill Belichick. I've hated Bill Belichick since I was a fucking preteen. And even I am not this irrational. Telling me, send him away with a loss. You think he cares? Why would you think he cares? Bill Belichick got 6 Super Bowls? Excuse me, 6 as a head coach. Excuse me. He got 6 Super Bowls as a head coach. You think he's going to give a flying fuck that the Jets beat him 13-9 in Week 18 in 2023 and gave the Patriots a high draft pick? You think he's going to care?
I think, considering how petty he is towards the Jets, yes, I do.
Okay,
I do.
That's exactly why they're going to lose the game because he's paid toward the Jets. He wants that. He wants them to have a lower draft pick.
I don't think
he
he's going to
agreed.
purposely draw. I don't think he's going to purposely draw the game. I think he's going to try
Again,
as hard as.
did you watch the game this past Sunday? Any of it?
Honestly, no.
I watched the last drive. Let me tell you, they have no interest in winning. None. Zero. None. And if he could fuck the Jets, he's going to fuck the Jets. And we've seen that. If he could fuck the Jets, he's going to fuck the Jets. So
he didn't actively try to win anything. But Kev, a part of it, I think a part of it also, do you have siblings, Kev?
no.
Okay. You're only child, Jude's only child. I have siblings.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to rivalries, right? You never want to beat your sibling at their lowest because it feels cheap. When my brother used to throw me in the room and close the door and turn the light off because I was scared of the dark, you know what I mean? It was just like, oh man, he got one up on me. Until my stupid ass realized I could turn the light back on. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I could literally just he closed the door to me in the room with the switch. But I was so worried about the dark. I was so scared about being in the dark. I didn't realize until when they said, hey, the switch is right there. And I would just laugh at him. Turn the switch back on. He had to devise other ways to get under my skin. But my point is, the victory isn't sweet unless you beat your opponent at their highest. So you saying so be it to the Jets winning a meaningless weekend?
Oh, yes. Yes, I tweeted that. Yes.
Yes, to end a streak that, I mean, listen, the damage is like what did Timberland say on that Justin Timberlake song? The damage is done, so I guess I'll be leaving. Like Bill Belichick did all the shit he could do to the Jets, bro. He could Timberland his way the fuck out of the league with 6 rings as the head coach and just be like,
nobody's ever going to give a fuck about that weekend.
No one's going to care about the weekend.
Nobody's ever going to give a
unless
about that
unless
game.
the Jets beat them 50-0,
Nobody
and Robert Kraft simultaneously had a heart attack when the clock hit 0.
Okay.
And then Bill's wife left him at this. Like, yeah, they'll remember that. We'll remember that game.
Outside that, nobody cares. And like, Jude is the same guy who was rooting for the Jets to win games at the end of 20, and has been bitching ever since. He's been bitching ever since, dude. And it's like you realize that if they just lost the 2 games, we wouldn't be like Rodgers wouldn't be in your life. You wouldn't have to curse out Nathaniel Hackett every week. None of this shit would be the case if they just lost 2 more football games. But that's what you wanted, and then you argued me to death. You still argue with me on this for some fucking reason because winning is the goal. Okay,
we've moved on. It's 2020.
Who the fuck is we? I'll ask you the same goddamn question I'll ask you every single time you say this. Who is we? There's 3 of us. Case has not moved on. I have not moved on, and I'm never going to move on. I'm gonna be dunking on you about this until my last breath, or until the Jets get a franchise quarterback. My last breath is probably going to come before then, to be honest with you. But that's neither here nor there.
Damn, he said his last breath. He mean that shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna be dunking on him until my last breath because it was ridiculous. Oh, how could we go winless? You know, we'll be the laughing stock, bro. We don't even talk about the teams who went winless. They went winless. Ain't no reason to talk about them, bro.
Bro, the Lions went 0-16 and nobody cares.
Nobody cares. The Browns went 0-16. Nobody cares. Because guess what? Going 0-16 or going 1-15 makes no difference. You know why? Because you fucking suck regardless. And we know you suck. We know you're dog shit. Nobody cares. There's a 0 in the win column.
The Jets went 1-15. The last time we just had a number overall pick is after the season. You know what I mean? Like
the Jets went 1-15 and drafted a possession receiver number 1. That should tell you all you need to know about the Jets, dude.
And that just shows how our luck was because that draft had no quarterbacks. That draft had
right.
no
and Peyton Manning went back to school and told Bill Parcells to go fuck himself. So
right. So hey, but outside of that though, let's talk about the Giants real quick. I hate the Giants.
Tommy DeVito.
Okay, no. It's not that. My hate for the Giants is rooted in the delusion of why are you winning games? Why are you winning games? Like,
Jude,
you
you
were
want
set
to
up.
answer that for him?
I mean, look, the Giants. Someone has to win that game.
I was not asking for a serious answer. I don't know what made you think I was asking for a serious answer. I was asking you for one of your fucking catchphrases that you beat me over the head with all the time. Winning's the goal.
I mean, yes, winning is the goal. Yeah.
Anyways, all right, mute this mic. Keep going, Case.
Great. Yep. So winning's the goal, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, winning's the goal. I got Stefan in our Discord asking questions like why can DeVito have touchdowns in the Jets game? This is why I don't need the Giants to win, because shit like that. Shit like that. And it's nothing against what Stefan said, but that's part of the thing that you have to deal with when the Giants decide to let's try to win some meaningless games. I remember, years ago, it was Eli or something like that, and like, the Giants could come back and the media's jumping in and stuff like. I'm like, what in what world? Like, we watch. We are fans of a league that an 0-3 start can mean the end of your season percentage-wise. Like teams, like as soon as you start 0-2, they say your play percentage 30%. Like only the Bengals had like a 1-3 start or something like that, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you look at what happened right now with Burrow getting hurt. You need in a league that's so brutal and so violent that goes on for a stretch of 4 to 5 to 6 months. Every win matters. You know what I mean? Because long term, somebody may fall in the middle, somebody might fall to the end. But as long as you lock in your seed, whether it be a divisional or whatever, you're fine. Winning these games right now means nothing. And watching the media and people saying stuff, I was talking to Antoine at the Black Friday tailgate. Shout out to Nicole and shout out to Nick for the Nick and Nick tailgate. We definitely did that before I forget. That's a part of my weekend, the Black Friday tailgate. I'm sorry I didn't remind everybody to say that. But yes, the Black Friday tailgate was dope. Definitely shout out to Gotham City Crew as well. I met Wayne Corbett. My son got a Wayne Corbett autograph. Shout out to Gotham City Crew. Shout out to Claudia. Great people. But I'm talking to Antoine, and I'm like, the parallels of going to a Giants home game and a Jets home game are like this. Like, it's the Giants fans literally come out in droves for home games. Like, it's a sea of blue. There's tents. I've never seen so many tents. Like, even when at a rainy Jets game, I didn't see that many tents. The Giants have tents everywhere. It's just a different atmosphere. It feels like old school Italian mafioso style. Like they've been blooded in or something like that. Mm-hmm. And they fans eat up the bullshit. And to the point where even questioning, DeVito having touchdowns. And like 5 or 6 touchdowns were garbage time touchdowns. And I was like, why are the Giants, the media, and their fans so fixated on winning this game?
I've seen Giants fans right now even say, this team could make a run to the playoffs. And for like the last several years, I feel like annually, the Giants will start saying 3-7, 3-8, whatever. And lo and behold, there will be a beat writer being... Yes, the beat writer will be like, hey, this was... Ralph V. He's going to be like, hey, the Giants can make a run to the playoffs. They got to pretty much win out and have every other team lose, but they can make a run to the playoffs like 2007, 2011. It's like, these are not the same Giants.
And that is the problem. That is the main problem. The problem with the Giants is they struck lightning twice. That was the main fucking problem. 2 9-7 improbable wild card wins to the Super Bowl by Eli and a great defense who decided to figure out when they wanted to play defense, even though they hated Coughlin, even though they wanted this whole mutiny and all that, right? They wanted to be fired and everything like that. The Giants faithful feel as if they can do this every fucking time. Guess what? You struck lightning twice. You beat the Patriots twice. It's over. It's done. It's fucking done.
Listen, the only thing I'm going to say about this portion of the programming is bringing back Stefan's quote about the touchdowns or whatever. Tommy DeVito's better at playing quarterback than Zach Wilson is. Now, that's comparing two morons and asking which one is smarter. Yeah, correct. But he's better at playing quarterback than Zach Wilson is, and that says everything. That is all. That says everything about Zach Wilson, not Tommy DeVito. Excuse me.
Right. And when he asked, like, I get why he asked, is the frustration of the team. But I'm like, this is why the Giants.
Honestly, I don't get why he asked, because they scored 10 fucking points. 10.
Well,
they did the same shit the Jets did, and they won the game. Like, they did the same
he's just talking about in totality, but I get the frustration.
But like the last game they played, which is typically where our mind goes, they scored 10 points. 10-7.
So, 10-7.
Okay, they scored a whole bunch of touchdowns against Washington. Congrats. What do you want me to tell you? Congrats.
Right. I get the frustration as a fan, but it's like this is what the Giants trying to win games does. And
well, damn, John Mara really got his ass out here. Did John Mara get?
That happened when you talk about the Giants is so fucking perfect.
Bro, the screens flipped like I'm on the right side now.
They did flip. That's interesting.
Mara Mafia.
Yeah, John Mara really got your ass out of here for that.
No, but I I'm about to say before I was saying I forgot what I was saying now. Yeah, well, fuck it, we're done. We move on. Buffalo Eagle wings. I just decided to throw that in. I thought that sounded like something. Eagles Bills. Yeah, Jude.
So I'll go first. I watched most of the second half of Eagles Bills. It was a really good game, pretty good game on both sides. A couple of things I found interesting. Stephon Diggs doing the whole Eagle Wings things. I find it funny how every person that does the Eagle Wings, somehow the team still ends up losing. I vividly remember Santonio, and this is the worst part. I remember Santonio Holmes doing that shit back in 2011. He did the Eagle Wings, and it was like 49-10 at the time he scored. And it's just like, well, what were you doing at that time? But moving on, Jake Elliott making that field goal in the rain, absolutely impressive. The tush push, get to see the tush push against Sirianni being an asshole. But Josh Allen, I want to talk about the Buffalo Bills overall. The Bills went to overtime. So we saw the Bills go to overtime, and we saw Brandon Graham, I think it was Brandon Graham, pretty much tell the truth. It's like, oh, it doesn't matter. You got the ball. We're going to win anyway. So Bills move down, and then Josh Allen misses this wide open throw to who was it? Gabriel Davis. That would have ended the game. They kick a field goal. Buffalo Eagles move down. Could have been a fumble of A.J. Brown, and then they win the game due to Jalen Hurts. And I find it funny that the Bills are always talking about overtime and how give Josh Allen the ball. If Josh Allen gets the ball, he's going to get a chance to win. That's all we want is a chance. And Josh Allen literally gets a chance to win, and they don't win. And the defense is once again soft, as it's been soft under Sean McDermott for pretty much his entire tenure. And so I just find that kind of funny how the Bills, I just want to say Sean McDermott right quick. I also feel like he's almost right there to getting fired. He has another couple more losses, but I don't see the Bills keeping him past this year because it feels like this is their ceiling right now. Perennial contender, one and done, maybe a divisional round win, maybe. But this is who they are. Nothing too crazy.
I saw a conversation about the whole overtime thing because it's objectively funny, and people the most useless. Actually, it hasn't happened in the playoffs yet, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, they adopted the same fucking rules they applied in the regular season in the playoffs now because the Bills shit on themselves all over Arrowhead with 12 seconds left on the clock, up by 3 points. And despite that, with the rules that they adopted, the Bills have won 0 overtime games in the Allen era. That's just objectively fucking funny, and really funny because we had to change rules because those bozos vomited all over Arrowhead. Now, I'm not going to talk about the Eagles. It's boring talking about the Eagles. Jalen Hurts is spectacular. I'll talk about that. But how much more do you want me to say about Jalen Hurts at this point? Like he's a dog in the best way possible. He's a fucking dog. Like he played like me the entire first half. He had like 13 yards passing, and like not to integrate fantasy and reality, but like I have him in the league, and you look up by the end of the day, he had 40 fantasy points. And it's like, bro, he had 13 fucking yards of passing in the first half, and you turn around, and he ended up with 5 total touchdowns. That's Jalen Hurts. He's never dead. Like him and that team are never fucking dead. So I love
30
it.
second half points. That's
right. I love it.
That's crazy.
He's never fucking dead. But the conversation about Josh Allen right now is fascinating to me because they've made me like a Josh Allen sympathizer, and that's insane to me. Because, all right, Josh Allen is objectively very good at football, right? I think we could all agree. He's objectively. How good you believe he is in the eye of the beholder. Josh Allen's not doing shit differently than he's been doing. Whether you like him or you hate him, he's not doing shit differently than he's been doing. Now they're 500, and now we have to have full-on dissertations after every game. Like, oh, you know, it is Josh Allen had he played one of the best games I've ever seen him play Sunday. They just lost, and then it's like, oh well, you know, he threw that pick. Like, is this the guy you want to quarterback your team? How are we here with this? Josh Allen's the same fucking guy. The Bills have had some bad luck, one, and the Bills' defense has been pillaged by injuries. Number two, he's the same fucking guy. Whether you liked him or you hated him, like, I've always thought he was really good. I've always thought he's gotten a little bit more credit than he deserves because of narrative and because people were very married to their pre-draft takes with Josh Allen in a way that's always been very weird. Like, why do you guys need him to be so good so bad? Why? Like, what is it about him?
Damn.
There goes Casey. Well, we are so used to trick-or-treat quarterbacks being like the Jameis Winston types, you know, bad. So, like, we don't know how to handle a trick-or-treat quarterback. And by we, I mean the society. Doesn't know how to handle a trick-or-treat quarterback when he's actually good. And Allen is probably the best trick-or-treat quarterback ever this side of Brett Favre. Like, it's Brett Favre, it's Josh Allen. I can't think of a fucking third one. Like it's just them two. Like, them two, like, they're going to throw the ball to defenders 2-3 times a game.
Andrew Luck, maybe? Andrew Luck was a trick-or-treat quarterback too.
I feel like Andrew Luck made them bad decisions out of necessity. He was like, yo, it's either he gonna put it up or we gonna get blasted. Like, I feel like Josh Allen just be doing it like, hey man, I feel like I could do this. And then just do some dumb shit. Like, that's just Josh Allen. There's a difference. But Luck, like, we're down 24-3. What the fuck is me checking down on 3rd and 8 gonna do? Like, that's what Luck was on. Like, all right, we down 24-3. I'm gonna throw this bitch. Like, I'm gonna go down swinging. That's what I'm gonna do. But we don't know how to handle a trick-or-treat quarterback because they lose a couple games, they 500. He's still playing at a high level. Now all of a sudden we're writing think pieces about Josh Allen after every interception. It's amazing to me.
Yeah, like, Josh Allen's liable to throw 3 touchdowns. He's also liable to just get, like you said, get 3 interceptions, 3 turnovers, and you don't know which one's coming. He could do it versus the Jets. He could do it versus the Eagles. He could do it versus any team in the league.
He's a lot of the reason that team is even fucking afloat in the first place. Because that roster, quiet as kept, is not that good. Like, they got one good offensive player outside of Diggs. And it's all right, Gabe Davis comes and goes, whatever. He's average. Let's just call him that. Dalton Kincaid looks like a player, to be fair to him, but he's a rookie tight end. The running backs are who? I don't even know off the top of my head. James Cook is good.
Bro,
he's fine.
Bro, they had Murray out there, bro. Like,
yeah, exactly. They had James Cook and they have Latavius Murray's remains out there playing running back for them. Like, it's
right.
Like, their roster is not that good. Allen keeps a lot of that afloat. They just haven't had good fortune this year with regards to on-field luck and injuries, and then now we are rewriting the entire book on Josh Allen in a way that's weird. But he's being treated like a lot of black quarterbacks would be treated in this same kind of scenario. So fuck him. Fuck him. You know what? Fuck him. I did all that to say fuck him. It's funny how that works. Fuck him. Yeah.
Now, Sean McDermott probably is like, I don't know what you guys think. I think he should be gone because I feel like
Sean McDermott's a loser. Sean McDermott's a loser. He should have been going the minute they kicked the ball in the air with 12 seconds left. He should have been gone then, let alone now. That was 2 years ago. He's a loser.
I'm shocked you didn't mention the fact that he kneeled with 20 seconds and 1 timeout too. I forgot about that. Did you? Near the end of the game, he kneeled 20 seconds, 1 timeout. I
wouldn't do. Why do you have Josh Allen if you're going to kneel in that spot? Like, oh yeah, he might throw the ball. He might throw the game away. Yeah, he also might throw you to a win. Yes. So, like, maybe if it's just to be fair, to throw a slight life jacket to him, the goal there is to get yourself a field goal. I don't know who Buffalo's kicker is. I don't know if they have faith in him in those conditions to make. There's a lot more downside than there is upside, to be fair to him in that scenario. Fuck it. Josh Allen got a better arm than 99.9% of quarterbacks who have ever played. I'm giving him a shot and see what happens. Like, if you incomplete it, okay, fine. Kneel the shit. If it's a gain of 2 or some shit, kneel it. But
yeah. It's just that
listen, Josh Allen is a give or you take, and I think Bomani Jones has said it before. Like we all know, Josh Allen's really good. We just know eventually he's going to make that mistake, and it was like a head scratching mistake is going to happen. I think like he leads the league in touchdowns over the past 3 seasons. Also leads the league in interceptions over that same span. So he's definitely a give or take guy. I listen. I just want Jude stole my thunder with the overtime thing. They're 0-6 in overtime, and they haven't like the funny thing about the overtime thing was just the fact that they bitched and people bitched online for them. And it was it's not fair. Oh, they needed a shot to get the ball back.
Damn, Bills Mafia getting him too. Bills Mafia's getting your ass too. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. This shit keeps flipping off. But I was looking at the overtime record. That's what I was looking at. I was looking at the big overtime record, and they're 0-6 in the playoffs. I mean, sorry, in total. But I think like they're since the Chiefs thing. I think they're 0-3 since the Chiefs. So it didn't matter. That was my spin. Like, yo, y'all bitch for it. You just can't put teams away. And it's just that means like you're so in your own head you can't score a touchdown. Like you're so in your own you can't score a touchdown. Touchdown wins the game. You cannot do it. You couldn't do it against the Jets. Couldn't do it against the Eagles. You cannot score a touchdown in overtime to win the game. So the rule changes and shit, whatever. But let's move forward before shit gets a little more crazy. Yo, I saw this, and I'm surprised this didn't get enough more press than it should have. Yeah. So I the camera must have caught this kid at that top angle, and actually, and then but in actuality, this is how he looked. Doesn't change the fact that he's wearing an Indian headgear. Doesn't change that fact. I know the Chiefs are the Chiefs. I don't know the history of the Kansas City Chiefs. I know a lot of teams have history like Native American history behind it, like in some way. And I guess I'm not saying it's a good homage, but like you all don't have it with the Washington Commanders, and they're allowed to get along, and the Cleveland Indians as well. Are they still the Indians now? Or they're the Cleveland?
No, they're the Guardians.
The Guardians, yeah, Guardians, whatever. And Chief Wahoo and stuff like that, and that meme with the dude wearing the full garb and everything, trying to explain why, whatever. But yeah, they got us in the first half. That screenshot with that kid, I thought he was in blackface. I was like, yo, what is going on? But still, it's just, can we not do this, white fans? Can we stop doing this? Can we finally lay this to rest? Can we stop doing it? I know the Chiefs, they tried out a Native American on the back of a horse with a spear and stuff like that. Can we stop doing that? Can we stop doing that? Mascots should be animals and caricatures of, I guess, people. You know what I mean? Like remember the Celtics had, whatever, and the Fighting Irish had all that.
They sure did. Some Celtics players were mad as hell when Kyrie stepped on the fucking logo.
Right. Stepped on whatever, but racism isn't in comedy. Racism is in sports and stuff like that. But my thing is, just with the Native American stuff, it's so outdated, bro. It's so outdated. Like, it's so offensive. It's so fucking wrong. And just for the fact that happened, and it really had people like, oh my God, and you're like, oh, okay. But still, you shouldn't be doing that.
I'm going to say one thing. It doesn't I find it so funny how people are like, yeah, you got to get the full story first. And it's like, dude, this child is wearing a full Native American headdress. Even if he had one half black and one half red, this child, more likely than not, is not Native American. Why is he wearing a full-ass Native American headdress? Why?
Why was it red and yellow like the colors? Is my thing.
Bro, The idea,
Why?
people are actively going to war. Let me specify. White people actively going to war, talking about, oh, you got to tell the whole story. What's the whole story? That he's even more racist than we thought? Is that the whole story? Because, like, okay, he got blackface and he got red face on. That's twice the racism. That's twice the racism. What are we talking about?
Where do you go to get double racism? It's like Chipotle, like double.
To tell the whole story, and then because
sprinkle racism.
Right, like I didn't know about the whole the front shot. Like I didn't know about that until like this morning, and they were like, "Oh, tell the full." I saw some white. It was retweeted basically individually. Like there was no further context. Like tell the whole story, and then I scrolled down. I saw the pictures. I'm like, is there some other thing that I'm missing here? Like all you're telling me is that it's like this kid, or excuse me, his parents, whoever the fuck sent him there with that shit on.
Right.
They're more racist is what you're fucking telling me. So I don't why do we have to consider the whole story? And like nobody likes to hand wave racism quite like white people. Just like why do you guys care? I don't know. You tell me, you writing 15 tweet dissertations about it. Why do you care then? Since you want to tell us not to care so bad, that implies that you care because you care that we care. So why do you care so much that we care about this shit? Mm-hmm. Victims of racism, like, why do you care that people care about this stuff? Like, live in your cocoon, you don't care, and they start asking bad faith questions like, "Oh, it's everything white people do is no, bro. Appearing at a fucking stadium with blackface and red face on at the same damn time. We're the future. That's racist, bro. What do you want me to tell you? You walking up the street and getting your bacon, egg, and cheese is not racist." Y'all could live without doing racist shit. And if you're not doing racist shit, why do you care that we are pointing out other people doing racist shit? It drives me insane when they start asking their fucking bad faith questions and they won't just shut the fuck up. Like, if you don't actually know something and you want to know it, there are a million avenues you could go. You could read a book. You could Google. You could ask if you have friends. You could ask them. You could DM people on Twitter. You could DM people on Instagram. You could do whatever the fuck you need to do to get real answers to your question. And if you have bad faith answers, you can consider this. Shutting the fuck up costs nothing. It costs $0.00. It costs nothing. It costs you nothing to shut the fuck up. Especially consider it does not affect you, white man or white woman. It doesn't affect you. Let the people who want to be bothered by the shit be bothered. It's plenty good enough to be bothered by, especially given that at the Chiefs home stadium, Arrowhead, excuse me, that shit is banned. So why it's not banned in Vegas? I have no fucking idea.
I didn't even know it was banned.
Yeah, it's fucking. That's why you never see it.
Right,
you never fucking see it. You never see it at their home stadium. You never see it.
Right.
In Vegas, boom, you see it. That's not a coincidence.
Right. This is not a coincidence. Hey guys, I got season tickets. We're going to Vegas. You know what that means? Get your headdress in your face.
Somebody said the Paris used this opportunity to soft launch their racism, and bro, I have not recovered from that. I have not recovered from that at all. No. They said, the parents was like, let's see how they receive it if the kid does, because they're not gonna beat the kid's ass. Which, honestly,
no,
I think that's what happened here. Like, not the soft launch part. They won't beat a kid up if we send them out there and that. I really think that's what happened. Because if you're an adult going out there with that shit, you're gonna get your ass beat. They're not gonna beat up a 6-year-old or whatever the fuck.
Dan Lebatard jumped on it like, oh, you guys are picking on the kids, and Elon Musk talking about some shit. They say the parents should sue Deadspin and stuff like that. Like, listen, man.
Sue them for what?
because they made an article about the whole thing, right? But my thing is this: stop using parents, and I'm as a parent. Do we project our desires onto our children? Yes, we do. So when you see kids like people hate when you see little boys, dressed in like designer at like 5 years old, right? Because they feel like, the mom is projecting the type of man she was seeing her son or whatever. If we can get mad at that, we can get mad at parents soft launching racism on their children or hard launching racism on their kids, because it's that we often project our desires and our views on our children.
Mm-hmm.
And say so, like to Kev's point in saying that something is literally banned in the home stadium, and saying, "Yo, fuck it, we're gonna do it anyway on the road," is literally saying, "Why can't we? Why can't we do this?" Well, we told you why you can't do
That's
it.
a popular white people phrase too.
And,
Why can't
and you know what?
why can't we say that word? You guys can. Yeah, keep
You
going.
guys say, "Why can't we do it?"
No, I was going to say, and you know, they were trying to get. I mean, the kid was like, "What, front row?" So they were trying to get the attention they wanted, and now they're upset they're getting that attention. That's the thing. It's like it's not like he was like in the upper level. It's not like he was like way up with sitting with Jesus, and the cameras just were looking around and found him. He was on the lower level. They wanted to be seen. They got seen, and now they're upset.
I've been seen on the jumbotron at the Rangers game and the Knicks game, right? And it was because of where we were sitting.
Right.
When you're sitting someplace and that camera comes by and they lock in on you, you know it's there. It's like that San Diego Chargers fan who they like the cameras on. Oh my God, Chargers! Like the camera is humongous. There's no way this is like your real, like even if this is your real reaction, the reason why the real reaction is always good from a distance because no one realizes the camera's on them. But when the camera's right there, it's hard to be your genuine self when the camera's right in front of you. It's just super hard to do that. You know what I mean? So you can't tell me that they were like the camera. Oh shit, we're gonna load this kid. And just locked there like. Look at this young Chiefs fan. He's in the spirit, right? Like they knew exactly what the fuck was gonna happen. You locked in that kid, and you knew it was gonna be talked about. And someone screenshotted it, and then it became a whole ordeal. But the parents deserve to get slapped for doing that dumb shit. And poor kid, you know what I mean, for being subjected to that. Hopefully, it doesn't follow him too far in life where he has to explain why he was the face of 2023.
Racism.
2023 sports racism. You know what I mean? Just buried behind it. But one of my favorite subjects: hate. What are we hating on this week, Jude?
Well, first I'm hating on your fantasy team because I was like, oh, got a nice matchup against Case, even matchup. The projections were good for an even matchup. And then we get to Thanksgiving, and I'm like, oh, okay. Some players went over projection a little bit, but none of my players have played yet. And so DK Metcalf, Geno Smith pretty much decides to not play well. Zach Charbonnet, I was over the hype. I was like, okay, he's replacing Kenneth Walker. I think he's going to be good. He's pedestrian. And then Sunday comes, and then Chuba Hubbard all of a sudden wants to become Alvin Kamara. And so he's scoring a touchdown. He's catching passes. CJ Stroud, once again, the hype train, I mean, he's very good, but once again, CJ Stroud just comes and beats my ass. So I'm like, oh, nice. And the worst part is my team couldn't even at least score enough to be over Phil. So now I'm in 9th place. My fantasy team's not doing great. Will Levis sucks. Adam Dean decided to be a corpse. Everyone on my team just doesn't want to score. It's hard for them to score, but every time someone else's team, they're scoring touchdowns left and right. There's catching passes. My team, it's like it's hard as fuck for them to do that. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? You guys were scoring 20 points earlier. Now you can't score 5. So that's what I'm going through. That's the hate. The hate's on my entire team right now. They gotta pick their axe up. They gotta help me out here. They gotta help me dream while other people are sleeping. And now I have to hear Case being like,
all right. That's enough. That's enough. Yeah. That's enough. That's enough.
Are you hating on anything this week?
I'm gonna hate on Draymond Green. Listen. I like Draymond Green, the player, and I think he's wildly entertaining. So, like, I don't have this negative opinion or aggressively negative opinion that other people do. Now, every time he gets suspended and they start asking him a question about the suspension, he acts like he's new to this. Oh, I'm still being punished for what I did in 2016. No, you're not. You're being punished for everything you've done since. No, you're not being punished for what you did in 2016 because you've had like 10 different transgressions since. Stop. Mm-hmm. Like this whole like I'm sorry, I got to figure out how to be better. No, this is just you. You're insane. That's part of what makes you great. Or made you great, whatever, however you want to put it. He's going into the Hall of Fame partially because the screws are a little bit loose up there. You don't get to the NBA being a fucking 6'4" or 5 power forward or whatever he is, and having to bang with big men all the time without being a little bit off your fucking rocker. Fine.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of hearing the woe is me shit when he gets suspended. Like, bro, you put somebody in a fucking headlock for no reason. Yes, they're gonna suspend. If your kid comes home, you got 2 kids. One of them comes home, he gets straight A's all the time, right? He gets an F once out of the clear blue.
Right.
That's not going to be the same as your other flunky kid walking around getting Fs every fucking semester and then coming home with another F. No, that's not how it works.
Right.
We know you do this shit. You always do this shit. If Steph Curry runs around and headlocks, we're gonna have to ask some other questions, and he's not gonna get the same punishment that you do because he doesn't always be on this shit. Like, just stop being on this shit. Like, it's not complicated. If you're gonna keep being on this shit, they're gonna keep suspending you. And quite frankly, given Draymond's history, he should have been suspended way fucking longer than 5 games anyway. If they were actually treating him like he thinks they're treating him, he would have gotten a 15-game suspension because he choked somebody for no fucking good reason outside of not liking the dude.
The most egregious suspension ever in NBA history, outside of Kevin Washington punching Rudy Tom Jonathan's face through his own arm, was the Malice in the Palace, and they all went to court and got their shits reduced and money back and all that stuff. Money's won and all that stuff like that. All the appeal. I think Jermaine O'Neal put the longest, like the magistrate or something like that, to like gain back money on stuff. Draymond Green was talking about, they talking about what happened in the finals. No, my nigga, they talking about what you do. Like this is what you do. So
doesn't he have like most seasons like 15 technicals or something? I feel like every single game
he leads the league in technicals every year. And the only reason he does not get there's a few reasons, but the biggest reason he does not get more is he plays for the Warriors. Because and the thing is he's so consistent in his actions. They don't call technicals when they should because all right, one, they don't want to eject him unless he does some wild shit, which happens often enough. But if they give him one technical, they know like for the rest of the game he's gonna be on the ass because they know good and well he knows good and well you're not gonna eject me, so I can say whatever the fuck I want. It's bad. It's a bad look for the NBA. Because we want to find dudes for everything. We want to do this. Like, you looked at somebody after a dunk, technical foul. Fuck you, bro. And Draymond can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he gets his 16 techs. Yeah, but if they were to treat him like a normal player, or they weren't finding people crazy after a certain amount of he'd have 100 technicals a year. But I want to say the record for technicals like in the 70s, and I was like before people started getting fined for him. Well, fined after fined and suspended after a certain amount of technical. Like, she has to have a season with like 70. I'll look that up after sure, but keep on.
Yeah, because I think isn't that after you get 16 technicals, you get suspended too? Like I'm pretty sure it's like
your 15. I think your 15th one or 16th was like a 1-game suspension. Every one after that is a 1-game suspension. So I mean, I think he suspended 1 game 1 time. He earned it, but guys like that really get.
Sorry, it's 41 is the record. Sorry to cut you off. 41. Rasheed Wallace. Because of
He's a GOAT. It's rare that guys like that get their comeuppance. Like Ron Artest never got like his ass beat on the court because Ron Artest is a fucking dude. But I think a guy like Draymond Green, I think eventually he's going to get his comeuppance, and if he doesn't like retire first. But not saying like he's a goon in any shape or form. I don't think he is as far as on the court. But I think eventually somebody's going to retire him and just take a swing. You know what I mean? The Jordan Poole stuff was egregious. You know what I mean? All other extra stuff. Like I think somebody eventually is going to take it. If it's not one of his own teammates, it's going to be somebody on the court.
I think it's more likely one of his own teammates does it.
It might be. I don't know. Maybe Clay. I don't know.
Because Draymond acts like somebody on the court who knows nobody's going to fight. Like in the games, like nobody's going to fight because nobody's trying to give him money. And rightfully so. Like I miss the fights personally, but nobody's trying to fight.
Maybe Kevon Looney.
Maybe Steph Curry. I mean, no, Steph Curry.
No, I think Kevon Looney. I think Kevon Looney.
Kevon Looney might be the one. Kevon Looney might be the one.
He's big enough and strong enough to be like, one day probably be tired of his shit. And like I said, it all depends on how long Draymond decides to keep on playing. But like I said, it's rare that players get their comeuppance, unless you're like a straight up goon. And I don't think Draymond's a straight up goon. I feel like eventually somebody's gonna be like pissed off at how they're gonna put him on his ass. Like, or take a swing or something like that. But somebody's gonna be tired of this shit. It's gonna get old. Speaking of getting tired of people's shit and getting old, I'm hating on Jude's ass this week. You know what I mean? There's no sports stuff to hate on. You know, my team sucks. The Knicks are good. The Rangers are good. Everything like that. So I'm hating on Jude because you do this. You know what that is? You know what this is?
That? What is
Throw
that?
rocks and hide your hand. That's what you do. You throw rocks and you hide your fucking hand. Oh, I beat you in fantasy case. You never beat me.
Oh my God.
Ben sleep God's dream. Oh, blah. Victory laps over beating inactive players. And then when I said, yo, you about to play me, so you're going to lose. Oh, okay, we'll see. I got a plan. Blah, blah, blah. And they go, oh, Chupa Hubbard. My brother in Christ. Without the 20 points from Chuba Hubbard, I still beat you 130 something to 107 or whatever the fuck you had. You had no shot of winning. You lost. You're starting Will Levis. You're starting Will fucking Levis. He had one.
I can't talk too much shit about that because I'm starting DTR on a weekly basis, but you know,
you may have a choice, but you're starting Will Levis. You don't make trades. You make the worst waiver wire decision. And you talk the most shit.
Somehow. From ninth place every year. Somehow.
You talk the most. And the game that was critical for you to play and win. How many moves did you make? How many moves did you make for this for facing me for the 6th seed in the playoff?
I made one move to get Isaiah Likely because Luke Musgrave was out. So I made a waiver wire claim, and of course, he didn't do all that much. So yeah, I could have started some guys, but they didn't really do all that much to really propel me to win. Even if I started them, I would have still lost. I just got beat.
Jude, you got beat because you make no moves. This is not even my team I started off with originally. I had Dak Prescott. I had Dak Prescott. I should have kept him, like hindsight 2020. But I had Dak Prescott. I traded for Lamb. I traded for Laporta. I traded for Howell. I picked up Hubbard. I think I drafted DJ Moore. Or whatever. I picked up Gus Edwards. I had Saquon. I made moves to improve and get better, and I kept calling. Said my team is winning every single week. I lost to Kev by 4 points. 4 points. I've been the top in scoring in the past 5 weeks. Just to hear you victory lap for beating people who are not even actively playing.
Hey, look, you get your wins when you can, and I needed a win.
You just don't get wins. Period.
You don't, because you.
I'm 6-6 right now.
And you could have probably been better if you made a move. Like when I offered to trade for Bijan Robinson. And I was like,
Jude didn't even draft for himself either. So what are we talking about?
Some of my picks were auto drafted, to be fair. Some of them, not all of them.
All of them.
Not all.
Bro.
Some. Only some.
Jude, I had 3 quarterbacks on the roster. I offered you one of those 3 quarterbacks.
I believe too much.
Robinson off your hands. It was going to be a multi-layered trade, and you don't even bother to look at the trade. I don't want to hear. Hate yourself.
Damn.
All right.
Wow.
Hate yourself. And maybe next year, you'll actually try to make trades and improve your team, or try to do some of the waiver wire and stop accusing Kev of collusion and everything like that. You know what I mean? Like,
he's just gonna claim that everything I do is collusion. Like that's the popular thing in the league.
Even though he helped you collude last year by
I traded TJ Hawkinson and Raheem Mostert for Travis Kelce and Rashad White. How come? Who did you pay for this trade? Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
And he got. Didn't you get Mostert from me? Or was it in the other league?
No, I drafted Mostert. That was another league. I drafted Mostert.
Right. So that's my hate, and I'm hating so much. It's Drew.
Damn. Oh damn!
It's and I know this song,
Oh,
That's the first in the history of the show. We actually noticed how we moving to, ladies and gentlemen. That's the first.
I noticed, but it's apropos for the hate. Can't y'all see that he's fake? The pod version of TD Jakes, prophesizing on your CDs and tapes, won't break you a crumb off the little bit that he makes, and this is who you want to place your faith. I put dollars on mine. Ask Nick and Nick tailgates. I put dollars on mine. Ask Nick and Nick tailgates.
Damn.
When the email dropped, I was the first in line. Donating proceeds of every ticket sold when I was out on the road for Amazon. That's how you judge Hov? No? Am I supposed to be? Aren't I supposed to be absorbed in myself? Every time there's an event, I'm the first one to help. Kev calls me this misogynist, but they don't call me the dude who takes his dollars to give gifts for our project.
Wow. Damn. Ouch.
These dudes is all politics. Deposit the checks they put in their pocket, and all you get in return is a lot of lip. Y'all buy this shit, caught up in the hype. Because this nigga bald and shiny, it don't mean that he bright.
Damn, did I just get roast tracked on there?
Yes.
Damn.
Because you don't understand him, that don't mean that he's nice. It just means you don't understand the bullshit that he tweets. Right.
Oh.
Wally one mic. Is it Black Girl Lost? Well, shorty owe you for ice. I've been real all my life. They confuse you with conceit. Since I will not lose, they try to help you cheat. But I will not lose for even in defeat. There's a valuable lesson learned. So it evens up for me. That's what happens in fantasy, Jude. Because when I was losing them times, I learned. And that's why I beat your ass this time. Damn. When the grass is cut, the snakes will show. I gotta thank the little homie Jude for that, though. Save me the asshole speaking half of these assholes. And I'm gonna let the karma catch up to Kevo. I take shots at Kev. For no reason, just because.
None. No reason. I've done nothing.
I'm back before you had a chance to miss me. My girl can't save me for history. Oh, God. Hold on. Who you know pod is vicious than me? You're so religiously. That's why they call me Ho. They don't call me Ho. They call me Face. I get the spoils because the victor is me. Me, nigga. You an actor. You're not what you depicted to be. You street dreaming. All you niggas living through me. I gave you life when niggas forgot you was podcasting. They don't rhyme. I'm sorry.
Damn.
No.
Damn.
But actually, but this having fun though. That's verse 2 of Blueprint 2. No, Jay-Z went.
Time out. Jude, who is Hov?
Jay-Z.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God you knew that one. Oh my God. Anyways, go ahead.
But this verse is definitely hard though. Like I don't know how many people really hang on to this verse. This verse is definitely hard. Jay-Z was going mad. Like I couldn't do the whole thing. I was actually going to rewrite a couple of stuff and make it rhyme, whatever, just to talk shit. Because I was back and everything, go through the pain and stuff like that. But nah, I've been working, guys, and I might not be here every other week and everything like that. But Kevin, you do an excellent job holding it down. I'm not here. Some of you guys, but some of you know who follow me. I am doing an individual podcast next year. Doesn't mean I'm leaving my pod. Just means I'm doing something. I have my own time to do it. So hopefully you guys support that as much as you support us doing this. Of course, Kevin's doing his own thing to show the only two teams that matter with Coley Mick on Underdog Fantasy Network. And make sure you follow Kev at KLEW24. Make sure you follow Jude Lie. His new name is Jude Lie.
Oh,
but
what?
his Twitter X handle is Jude. Follow us on Instagram and on Twitter, ML69. Follow us on TikTok at middle_initial_pod on TikTok. Yo, I found a dope pizza spot while I was working today called Ignacio's on 4 Water Street. The pizza is amazing. You see it
Oh,
if
that
you
sounds
follow us on
nice.
TikTok. Yeah, follow us on TikTok. You see how I talked about it for like a minute or so, but I found a dope pizza spot. I don't care if likes pizza. Found a dope pizza spot. It didn't 2 cheese slices that didn't look like cheese at all. It looked kind of like tomatoey. Yo, bro, I'll say, yo, it didn't look like a cheese slice. When I say that's the best slices of pizza I've had from a non-chain pop or whatever, whatever mom and pop store, that joint was fire. That joint was fire. But definitely check it out. But yeah, man. Just want to have fun tonight. Jude's Grooves will be back. Don't worry, guys. I'm not taking over. Jude's Grooves will be back in the program. We're not allowing you to quit Jude's Grooves. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share the pod. Yeah, man. I had fun. I'm glad to do it. I don't have to work tomorrow, so I got to hang out a little longer than normally. They told me I have to work tomorrow, so boom. I got to stay hang with my guys. Any final thoughts before we go?
I do not.
Just glad to have Case back. I brought out the platinum durag for the occasion.
The platinum durag.
Just glad to have Case back. Glad to have Case back in the program. It's always good to chop it up with him. So
I had a Cisco bar for you for the platinum durag. I just couldn't put it together.
Oh, I wish you would have. That'd have been fine. I've never been compared to Cisco at anything ever. That'd have been fire, actually.
With the platinum, I was like, yo, all I think of is when Cisco had that platinum hair. I was like, platinum durag. I have nothing to put together. So I just didn't go for
Cisco legend, dog.
What they say, you miss the shots you don't take.
Exactly.
Stay inspired by 69. Hopefully I see you guys next week. You definitely see the other guys. Peace.